Eyeshadow.
Hello beautiful people, we're back again with another glam. Here is my gorgeous Jenny as our model, and today we are going to be doing another beautiful look inspired by none other than Cardi B, and that's because she's been slaying looks from red carpet to red carpet all across New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week. So I've been following her and I'm really inspired by the glam that her makeup artist Erica LaPerle has been doing. So today we're going to be doing a smoky red eye with a pop of glitter and nude lips, and we're going to get right into it. Jenny's skin has been prepped already, so I'm going to go right into adding a beautiful glow to her skin. So for the next step, now that her foundation has been applied, I'm going to be brightening and creating a lovely contour around her face to bring out her lovely features. So I'm going to be highlighting with two shades, one that is really nice and warm and another one that gives a pop of brightness. And after that, I shall be doing the same for her contour right around her cheekbones and on her hairline. Using a moist beauty blender, take your time, don't rush, and blend everything out. The next step now is to create a very gentle contour. Use the other side of the beauty blender to blend everything out perfectly. The next step is to set with a very fine powder under the eye area, which is the one most likely to crease. So I'm going to ask Jenny to look up, and that keeps the skin under the eye really taut. And I do it one eye at a time. I go as close to the waterline as possible, making sure to set all the areas. The next step is to set the rest of her face, and this is a powder that's going to be true to her skin color. So we have made sure we have highlighted and set her under eyes, which is the most important, and her highlight areas. And now, because I don't want to move straight into a really dark color, I'm going to the next color, which is her actual skin color. Once I set that gently with a fine powder, then I'm going to accentuate and reset her contour areas, which are the darker ones that I did around her face. Now, since some dimension has been taken off her skin with all the foundations and the matte full coverage powders, you want to add some dimension back into her skin. So I love to use a mix of different products. And now that I've set her face really lightly, I'm going to add that skin-like dimension with skin finish powders. These are very light finishing powders. They are not intense, but they do add a bit of shimmer and glow back to the skin, something a bit more skin-like, so she doesn't look so matte. And I'm going to use that to again go over the highlight areas, really warm up her face with a contour, and then again blend it all out. Remember to take off the excess product that has been baking. Again, applying the lighter shade to all the highlighted areas. Moving into a darker shade for the contour, I'm going to place this just where I applied the contour. I like to use a small detailed fluffy brush because that allows me to blend all the products that I'm putting on. And now for her all over skin finish, I'm using a skin finish powder. The next stage is the brows. Now that her skin has been perfected, I'm going to do the final touches closer to the end of this look, which would be blush and a bit of highlight. Use a clean spoolie to brush up the brows and fill them in very gently. The best way to create flawless and natural looking brows is to add short strokes, very similar to the direction and the style of hair growth. The brows have been filled and defined. So to clean up her brow, I'm using the same shade of foundation and the same product, and that's going to make it really easy for it to be undetectable. We're almost complete. Our next step is to do the beautiful eyes, which are going to tie in the entire look. So before we start on the eyes, we're going to base the eyelid because I can tell Jenny's eyelids crease a bit. And to add a primer, you could either use a concealer or an eyeshadow primer. That helps the pigment stick better. and also does not allow the pigments to crease on her eyelid if she does break a sweat or if she's in humid conditions. The next stage is to start with applying a transition color. And when I say transition, that is kind of a blending color. So it shouldn't be a harsh contrast between the eyeshadow, the reddish smoky eye. So we have to create a shade in her crease that is nice and warm and brown. So we're gonna go with a lovely color here and just brush it into the crease so that it makes blending really easy and seamless. So what I'm doing is adding a darker color of eyeshadow and extending her eye, almost like creating a wing from the outer corner of her eye and blending it out so it doesn't really join the eyebrow, but you can see the shading there and it creates a lovely cat's eye. So I'm happy with the smokiness we've created with this lovely red shimmering color. And to top it off on the eyelids, I'm going to pair it with another shimmering color. Since this is a really lovely dramatic look for the red carpet, why not? So I'm using a color which is a lovely nude, and I'm pressing it into the eyelid on the areas where I have not put that red color. So we've got a lovely gradient of color moving straight from the shimmery pigment on her first half of her eyelid and then blending right into that red smoky, which I love. I'm just going to add a bit of definition into the outer corner to create more depth. You can tell my placement of the shadow and the way I'm brushing it inwards because I don't want this dark color all over her eye. Of course, with all this color and gorgeous depth we've created on the eyelid, you do want to stretch it out to the bottom of the eye. So I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to start with a lighter color and then add a bit of definition into her bottom lash line with the darker brown. For these steps, I prefer to use fluffy brushes because they also blend as I apply. And if you do happen to have a red irritated eye afterwards because of all that smudging and blending, maybe it would be good to put a few drops of Vicine in each eye. Using a more detailed flat brush, I'm now going to use the darker brown to add a bit of depth closer to her lash line. On top of the eyelid, instead of using an eyeliner, I'm going to be using the same dark brown pigment, but I'm using a different tool this time, a really flat brush. It's not angled, and I'm going to push this right into her lash line again, creating a liner-like effect. Our next step is to add some lashes. Our model has beautiful lashes, but with such a dramatic eye look, you definitely need to pair it with a couple of falsies. I'm not too scared of adding 2 or 3 falsies sometimes to create the right effect, but today we're going to be using one. Cardi B usually uses a favorite brand of mine. It's Tati Lash in style number TL3 and TL9, and those are super dramatic, super long, and very well suited for the red carpet. But for today, we're gonna take it down a notch. Since we've taken it up a notch for the eyes, we're gonna balance it out with really natural lashes. I love to layer wispy lashes because they give a beautiful 3-dimensional effect from all angles as opposed to a one chunky lash. And I'm able to customize them if I want. I snip them up into pieces and really place them where I need the extra attention. In order to further blend the lashes together, especially because I've used 2, and to blend her natural lash with the strip lash we've just applied, I love to use a very small detailed eyelash curler. I'm going to press the 2 bands together and make sure everything looks seamless. So this is a clear brow mascara or a clear mascara, and I use it to brush the brows up and set them in place. The last stage in perfecting the eye is to add a gorgeous amount of black eyeliner on her waterline just to intensify that look created by the falsies we've added. I'm going to use the same flat brush, swipe it across the black eye pencil, and I'm going to press that into her lash. Our final step, now that her skin and her eyes and lashes have been done, are the lips. We're going to pair this beautiful eye look with a very nude and matte lip color. And for the nude, some people create the perfect nude with a lovely mix of foundation and gloss on top. I'm going to create my perfect nude with 3 shades, which I'm going to create a cocktail and make it look really gorgeous. As I said earlier, a finishing step for Jenny's skin would be a bit of blush and a pop of highlight. So here I have an assortment of colors, and I'm not going to go too crazy because the focus is on her gorgeous eyes. Just going to add a bit of beautiful orange here. Take the excess off the brush, ask her to smile, and place that right on the apples of her cheeks. And finally, the highlight. Make sure you do all the finishing touches before you call it a day. So beauties, I hope you enjoyed this fabulous Cardi B inspired look on my model Jenny. I'm really pleased with the effect. You can go harder, you can go softer. It's totally up to you and what you feel you want to rock. But I think if it's a night out, definitely add a bit of pizzazz, go a bit further, a bit more smoky. Yes, why not? But for now, this is gorgeous. Cardi B rocked this look at the Paris Fashion Week, I believe, and she was fantastic. So shout out to Cardi B. Thank you guys for watching. Recreate this look, make it your own, and have fun.
Hey dolls! Did you enjoy watching this tutorial? Join the Alexiglam family by liking and subscribing to our Alexiglam channel. Tap the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. Stay connected by following us on our socials at Alexiglam and at Alexandrina Makeup. Happy recreating!